What would you do if you knew you were never going to die? Well, most people, when they imagine immortality, think of the perks. They think of the wealth that you could build over the centuries, the languages you could master, the sheer power of being the last one standing. But they rarely consider the psychological tax. Imagine watching everybody you care for, everybody you love, your friends, your mentors, your family, grow old and pass away while you remain exactly the same. Imagine carrying the weight of 400 years of mistakes, losses, and literal memories of every battle that you have ever fought. Personally, I believe that most people would break under that. They would become cold, cynical, completely detached from humanity. But when we take a look at Duncan MacLeod of the Clan MacLeod, well, guess what? He looked at the void and he didn't blink. He didn't just survive the centuries, he maintained his soul. In a world that often feels like it's losing its moral compass, MacLeod's Highlander code often offers a blueprint of how we can navigate our own lives, uh, which are much shorter, obviously, but no less difficult. Today, in our Heroic Icons series, we're going to break down the anatomy of an immortal hero and seeing how we can apply that strength to our own perspective. But before we draw steel on this wonderful study, if you enjoy these deep dives into the heroes and their archetypes and the shapes of our culture, and of course how it applies to us as regular people, please hit that like button and subscribe to the channel. It tells the algorithm that you like this kind of long form content, and well, it helps keep these perspectives coming to you. All right, so let's dive in to the world of Duncan MacLeod of the Clan MacLeod, the Highlander. Duncan MacLeod is defined by a code. In the series, this makes him often look out of time. He refuses to take shortcuts. He won't strike an unarmed opponent, unless it's obviously a duel. And his word is absolute. In psychology, there is a concept called moral identity. This is popularized by researchers Aquino and Reed and their 2002 study, The Self-Importance of Moral Identity, suggests that for some people, being moral isn't just something they do. It's central to who they are. When your moral identity is high, your behavior becomes consistent across all situations, whether people are watching or not. Sorry. We live in a hustle culture. I hate hustle culture, and that often rewards the shortcuts. We're told to fake it till you make it, or do whatever is necessary to win. But Duncan teaches us that your character is defined by rules you refuse to break when things get hard. Integrity is the sword that we carry in daily life. It's about being the person who does the right thing at work or in your relationships, even when it's inconvenient. When you align your actions with a core set of values, you gain a sense of internal groundedness. You don't have to wonder who you are because your actions have already answered that question. Now, of course, we have to talk about the darkness. If you followed this channel for a while, you know we talk a lot about Carl Jung and the concept of the shadow. Jung argued that every individual has a hidden dark side to their personality, and that contains everything we find unacceptable in ourselves. In Highlander, the series, this is explored through the Dark Quickening arc. After taking the head of a particularly vile immortal, Duncan is overwhelmed by the evil he absorbed. He isn't just getting a power up, he inherited the darkness of his enemy. He had to battle his own shadow to regain his humanity. And if you don't are familiar with that arc, go forth and watch it. I think it's in season 3. This mirrors, though, the what psychologists call moral injury. It's the damage done to a person's conscience when they witness or engage in acts that violate their moral beliefs. Duncan's struggle shows us that being good isn't a permanent state you reach, it's a daily battle. We all have a shadow. There's no denying that, and anybody who denies that is fooling themselves. We all have that capacity for resentment, bitterness, or cruelty, especially when we feel that life hasn't treated us fairly. Let's face it, these days, life isn't fair. Never has been. If the Duncan MacLeod approach isn't to pretend that the darkness doesn't exist, see my video on toxic positivity, it's to acknowledge it, to confront it, and to choose every single day not to let it drive the car. Heroism isn't the absence of darkness. It's the disciplined mastery of it. So you might wonder, why does Duncan stay a hero while other immortals become monsters? Well, actually, there's a fascinating peer-reviewed study by Jonathan Bassett, titled "It's Hard Out There for an Immortal." Bassett used terror management theory, or TMT, to analyze Duncan. The theory looks at how humans handle anxiety, handle the anxiety of existence. Most immortals in fiction eventually fall into ennui, ENNUI. I think I pronounced that right. But it's a deep, soul-crushing boredom and detachment. They stopped caring about mortals because mortals die so fast in their eyes. But the study found that Duncan achieves successful immortality because he stays engaged. He doesn't withdraw. He mentors people like Richie Ryan. He runs an antique store. He stays connected to the human struggle. The lesson here for us here is all about resilience. When we go through hard times, job losses, health struggles, personal setbacks, our instinct is often to withdraw, to stop caring so it doesn't hurt so much. But Bassett's research suggests that the secret to a meaningful life and a healthy mind is the exact opposite. It's staying engaged. It's finding someone to mentor, a cause to support, a craft to master. Your immortality is the legacy you leave to others. By staying involved in the world, you prevent your heart from hardening with cynicism. Now, you don't need to be an immortal to live a life of significance. You just need to decide that your principles are more important than your convenience. Duncan MacLeod is a hero not because he's hard to kill, but because he's impossible to corrupt. He stayed a student, he stayed a protector, and he stayed true to his word for 400 years. If he can do it through centuries of war and loss, we can do it through our daily grind. We can choose to be the one in a million who doesn't settle for the easy path, but instead chooses the path of integrity. I want to thank you all again today for joining me into the Heroic Icons series. This perspective on the Highlander gave you the tools for your own journey. Please make sure you hit that like button and subscribe to Perspectives of Jerry, and make sure you ring that notification bell so you never miss a study. And of course, if you want to support the channel just a little bit more, you can go down to the link in the description for buymeacoffee.com / Perspectives of Jerry, because every little bit helps me keep these deep dives and videos coming, keeps the lights on, that type of stuff. So, folks, until next time, there can be only one you. Make it count. Have a great day, folks. See you in the next one.